Welcome to the podcast She is Fab, where we discuss all things fab, women empowerment, and life coaching. My name is Evelyn, also known as the Fab Chiefess, and I am a mindset transformation coach. Welcome to another episode of the She is Fab podcast. My name is Evelyn, your host, mindset transformation coach, and today I am joined by Dawn Cady. She is a pain freedom coach who developed the neural alignment method, a natural pain relief treatment to help people like you achieve freedom. She runs her pain clinic in Australia and helps people worldwide with a range of online programs. She is also a former chronic pain sufferer who went from 13 painkillers a day to 0. Amazing. Welcome, Dawn.
Hi. How are you doing?
I am also happy to have you and learn all about you and your method.
Oh, that's lovely. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You are welcome. So, Dawn, tell us more about you. Where you came from. You said, you had these painkillers that you would take 13 to 0, and then you developed a program. I'm assuming based on your experience.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, it started. I would never have thought that I'd become addicted to opioids. That's the truth. I would never have thought it was in my character to ever become addicted to a drug just to escape my life. So it started with taking the painkillers to help me reduce the pain that I was suffering. So I slipped when I was 5.5 months pregnant and I was left disabled, and the pain just kept getting worse. After I had my little boy, the pain just got worse and worse and worse. And the doctors kept giving more and more and more painkillers to the point that I'm on like 13 hardcore painkillers a day.
Wow.
And I became addicted to them, and I didn't realise I became addicted to them until I recognise that, you know what, I don't think they're helping me. I think they're actually making me feel worse. And with that realisation, I was like, why am I taking them? Because I don't even think that they're helping with the pain. And every time I dug, I found an answer, and I was like shocked by the answer. I was just trusted blindly that the doctor was doing the right thing and it was helping me. It was helping me heal. I had this thought that the painkillers were actually helping me heal. I don't know why. I think society's being programmed that if you take a tablet, it's the solution.
Yes.
And I started to realise, hang on a minute, I don't think that's true. And the more I dug, the more I realised that I was actually using the painkillers to escape a life that I hated. I hated who I'd become. I hated the fact that I was in pain. I hated the fact that I wasn't coping mentally, physically, or emotionally. I hated the fact that I was a mum, and I was a terrible mum because I was in pain and I did not want to be with my son. I didn't want to play with him. I didn't want to be there with him. I didn't want to be housebound with him. And it was just a form of escapism that if I completely numbed myself, then I didn't need to see how terrible my life was.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. And I agree with you there when you talk about the painkillers, how in society we just assume that a doctor prescribes something, we take it, and it's supposed to cure what we're experiencing, but that's not the case. A lot of times these things are masking or providing temporary relief, but not actually curing or healing you.
They're not. And Evelyn, the worst thing that I started to realise was not only was it just a temporary solution just to get you through, that's what they're for. They're for acute. Painkillers are for acute process. If you've had an operation or you've been in a car accident and whatever the situation is and it's acute, they're amazing. But for chronic, they're a coping strategy that can actually make the whole situation worse if you don't know when to stop using them. And that is the whole message that I want to put out there is you are the one who knows when to stop them. You are the one who's going to recognise it, and you're the one that needs to make that decision. And unfortunately, there's not much education around it. We put on these painkillers 2, 3, 5 years later, the ramifications are your kidney, your liver, things start to break down, diseases start to come in, and it's all because you're putting more pressure and more toxins into the body. So the body's having to work harder when it's already struggling.
Mm-hmm.
The pain and the suffering that you're experiencing is your body saying something has to change because this environment is killing us. But what do? We go and reach for the painkillers. We go to the doctors and we take these long-term medications thinking it's helping us heal when it's not. It's actually
Right.
breaking our bodies down and making the situation and circumstance worse in the long run for
Right.
short-term benefit and gain. And it's knowing that balance is I'm going to take these for a period of time, and then after that, I need to start weaning myself. There's no education around it. You just
Mm-hmm.
put on it, and some people have massive reactions, and then they decide to take themselves off. And then
Mm-hmm.
some people are just on them for the rest of their lives.
Right, because they become dependent on what it provides. But you have tremendous awareness because you realized at some point that you were creating a dependency, that it was impacting your life, impacting how you engage, especially with your son. And you decided to transition to work on getting better and healing without the help of these painkillers. So tell us more about that. Was there a specific point or a catalyst where you were like, no, I need to make a change?
Yeah, it was compounding. It wasn't just like, woo, just woke up
Mm,
one day and I was like, that's it, I'm off the painkillers. It was a slow it was slow questions I kept asking myself, and then the more evidence that I stacked that these painkillers are actually making my life worse and they're not helping, I stacked enough evidence where I just went, this is insane.
mm-hmm.
Like, I have to stop taking these. Like, it makes absolutely no sense to take them. And it was about stacking the evidence as to what I was doing was insane behavior. Because to me, it was sin. So in order to get out of it, I had to get my mind on board, and my mind goes, yeah, we don't want to be on these anymore. And when you have that deep knowing inside of you, so you've got your mind on board, your body's on board, and you're on board, it happens like that. The hardest part is getting your mind
Mm-hmm.
to recognize that what it believed was sane behavior and helpful is actually not. It's insane behavior and it's very unhelpful.
Mm-hmm.
And it's getting to that process because there's a lot of things that we do in life and we think that it's normal, it's sane, it's right, it's the best thing to do. And without those deep questions and asking ourselves, you just keep repeating the same patterns over and over again without realizing you're killing yourself slowly.
Yes. You make a good point there with asking why, right? Repeating the question, which will lead you down a path of further curiosity, further exploration that at some point can bring you to that root cause. So this was something that was compounded right before you made this transition. Were there several things that you tried to help you to get away from the painkillers? And were some of those things what helped you develop your program?
Yep. So what I found is, I remember one day saying to myself, I can't cope with this anymore. I'm like, God, whoever the hell is out there, whatever exists, can you please just send me something to get out of this? Because I know what I'm doing is breaking my body down. It's making my situation worse, but I don't know where the hell to move with this. I have no idea. My doctor was completely against me coming off of the pain meds. He thought I was insane when I'm saying all this stuff to him. I'm going into the surgery and he's going, you need them. You need them. And I'm like, I don't need them. They're making me worse. And he's going, okay, so what we'll do is we'll slowly take you off them. And I'm like, no, this is going to take 18 months for me to get off of these. I can't wait 18 months. It was just like this knowing that I had to get off them as soon as
Mm-hmm.
possible. But I just put it out there, and 10 minutes later, I pick up my phone, and in my emails was natural pain relief, natural pain relieving technique. And I'm like,
A sign.
what? What? I read the email and it says EFT, and I'm like, what's EFT? Emotional freedom technique. Become a practitioner. I'm like, hell yeah, I'll sign up for it. But Evelyn, I didn't just straight away sign up and took the course and did the course and got off the pay. No, this got in the way. It's too hard work. I'm too tired. I don't want to do it. I got in my own way for a long time. And then
Mm-hmm.
one day I just stuck to the evidence again of going, oh, look, I say that I want to do one thing and I'm doing the absolute opposite. What's going to help me get out of this situation? Is it continuing doing this behavior, or is it actually taking action? And it doesn't matter what action I take. So I talked myself through that. And then with that, I became an EFT practitioner, and I used EFT every time that I wanted a painkiller. I would catch myself before, days after, before, it was just it was a mess. I'm not going to say it was a beautiful process and it went smooth. It didn't. Sometimes I took the painkillers and then I beat myself up about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went on this journey of going, hang on, my pain gets worse when I have a go at myself. That's interesting. That's not going to help.
Mm-hmm.
So I started then to neutralise that and say, look, whenever I catch myself, I'm moving forward.
Yeah.
And I started to accept that. So I would go to the medicine drawer when I got really good with this through practice. I'd go to the medicine drawer and I'd go, oh, here I am again. Here I am again. And this is what EFT is. You're tapping on acupressure points. You're calming down the nervous system. You're allowing your brain and your mind to say what it needs to say, and you're allowing your body to speak. This is how you start to open communication with your mind and your body. So I started to talk myself through, oh, here I am again. At the door, ready to pop the painkillers because I don't want to cope with what is going on in life. And I talk myself through the process and I go, what is it I'm trying to escape from? What is it? Instead of just going straight to the numbing agent, what am I trying to escape from? What do I not want to experience? What do I dislike about my life? What's triggered me to think that the only way out of this is to pop a painkiller? And I just kept doing that, and eventually my body would just say to me, I don't need the painkillers anymore. So I'd stop that painkiller and then I'd move on to the next one. And my body started telling me exactly what painkillers to come off and when and what doses. Now, I don't recommend that to everyone. Go see a practitioner. Obviously, we're not medical practitioners, and we can get into a lot of trouble for this. But what I want to say to you is, when you ask the right questions and when you have your mind on board, your body will tell you exactly what it wants, what it needs, how to heal, what's in its way. And when you get to that place, you know without a shadow of a doubt that you're going to heal yourself. And that's what I help people achieve, is that mindset of that just absolute confidence and knowing that you have got this. Your body knows exactly what it's doing and your mind is cheering it on to get you through the situation and circumstance. And you're the CEO and you're just sat there and you're going, I have got this. And when I fall, I am not going to beat myself with that big stick. I am going to hold myself accountable and I am going to cheer myself on and I'm going to get back up. That is the mind that you need. And that's who you need to become in order to heal yourself.
I love that. And so, guys, if you are listening and not watching, I definitely recommend that you go watch the YouTube video, because Dawn was actually practicing and showing EFT tapping so you can get a taste of what that looks like and really take into consideration and absorb what she said as she's practicing it. Something else that I want to mention, as I talked about earlier, Dawn, is that you have awareness. Not everyone has that awareness. And in your awareness, you also have that vulnerability. You are telling us, of the instances where you, even though you practice EFT, you're practicing these modalities to help you address your transition. You had moments where you found yourself going back to the painkillers or going back to the numbing agent. But because you're a human, you acknowledge it and you work against it. You work to ensure that it doesn't become a habit. You're using your EFT tapping to help you with that. So that awareness, that is something that everyone has. So kudos to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So you talked about how you found, this communication that you thought, okay, that sounds interesting, but you had all these excuses and limiting beliefs as to why you wouldn't pursue it. But then it came back and you decided to, okay, I'm going to go ahead and pursue this. At that point, did you know that you wanted to help other people, or were you solely focused on how it would help you?
That's an interesting question. I I'm not sure when it came, but I remember one day where I was like, I have to know everything about healing because I don't know how the hell I've done this, but I have cracked something here that most people aren't aware of. And that is because, like you say, it's the level of awareness that I had, and I had cultivated that. And I don't know how I cultivated it. I had no idea how I'd done it. But at one point, I remember thinking, there is so many people in Australia, there's 1 in 5, and in the US, there's 1 in 4 suffering from chronic pain. And I'm like, I'm not alone in this. And I don't know what the stats are in the US, but over here, there is 1 pain specialist for every 16,000 sufferers. 1. So the chances of you seeing somebody who actually kind of knows what's going on with you is pretty much minimal. And I knew these stats because when I was researching to get myself out of it and find people looking externally for help, I was like, there is no help.
Mm-hmm.
So the back of my mind was a seed planted that I'm not just doing this for me. I'm doing this for future generations because I can see that my pain has already had an impact on my toddler. I can see that he knows that because you're still connected.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's a toddler. He still thinks that he's part of me. He doesn't feel separation. He was feeling everything I was feeling, and it was creating all sorts of chaos within inside of him and all sorts of health issues inside of him. And I'm like, oh my God, like people are not aware of the grip and the hold that pain has and how we've put pain on this pedestal that it's this big scary thing that we can never overcome. And once you've got it, that's it. You've got it for life. So the back of my mind, I knew that what I was doing was much bigger than me just healing myself. I had that feeling, and I believe that that drive as well helped me to be able to research over 150 tools, and I think I'm at about 200 now, of ways to heal yourself. Everybody is uniquely different. What works for me is not necessarily going to work for everyone, but the foundation is to understand your body and the education, and that's what we do. And that's how we help people.
That's an important thought there, right? That what may work for you or the next person may not work for the other individual, right? Everyone has their unique experience, unique body, and even maybe how they even feel the pain can be very different. But what I find is that coaches or individuals who pursue a career path like ours are those that have had these personal experiences. Maybe they practice this in some way without knowing, and then eventually something, a catalyst or a path, a transition, led them to pursue, their niche professionally. And so when it comes to success or being able to work with clients and really help clients, I feel like it is better when you are coming from a place of experience where you have all these tools and resources that you yourself have either used or researched or have knowledge on because you're using it for your experience first. And then through that experience, you're able to provide these options to other individuals. So with your program, Dawn, tell us a little bit more about that, how you put that together and what it's comprised of.
Yeah, absolutely. So I set up a pain clinic where we went through 2 years of clinical trials. So all of my stuff is not just as people say, and please don't, I have no disrespect to other people's tools or techniques, but when we say woo-woo, look deeper than that. Please look deeper than that, because there's many tools and techniques out there that are weird and wonderful and have massive, huge ability to help people. Don't allow your ignorance to get in the way of these things. So EFT, if you're not watching this video, it looks weird. It looks strange. It looks odd. And you might have this like, oh, I don't want to do that. It's just bizarre. Like, how on earth is that going to work? Don't judge things. And if you do judge things, that's what we help people with as well, is these tools and techniques. But in relationship to the programs, the whole point is to take you from a place of not knowing what the hell is going on, why you're experiencing what you're experiencing, what's happening for you, and why people can't help you. What are the symptoms about? So it's getting that foundational understanding of what's going on for you. And then it's progressing through and understanding what your body's speaking to you, what it's saying to you, how you communicate with it, how you can rewire your brain so your brain is in alignment with what you actually want to do and achieve in life. So you're not sabotaging yourself. And then the next journey is to completely let go of any expectation that your body can't heal. It can. You just need to get out of its way. And it's going into those deep understandings of what happened in my life that had me get to this situation. What is going on in my nervous system? What created the situation and circumstance? And it's learning the tools and techniques where you don't have to unearth all of your past and you don't have to go through the whole trauma, but you just go through maybe there's 2 or 3 major incidents that have happened, and when you collapse them, it pretty much collapses everything. So that's the process that we take people through, because we have resistance. There's a lot of stuff that we've been told that's not true. And if you don't break down those barriers, the chances of you getting through to the other side is pretty minimal.
Mm-hmm.
So like you recognized earlier that I had this high level of awareness. That's a skill. So don't put me on a pedestal thinking, well, it's okay for her. It naturally came to her. Yes, it naturally came to me. And I understood that and I recognized that because in the 2 years in the clinical trials, I recognized that people don't have that innate ability always to be able to do that. It's a skill. And I am no better than you. The only difference is I had that skill naturally. But I know now how to teach people that skill. It's a skill. And everything can be learned. So don't put anyone on a pedestal. Don't think that I can't do this. She's better than me. She got through. No, I'm just further ahead in my journey and I can make that journey so much simpler and easier and quicker and more effective. But I aren't any better than you. I'm just further ahead in the journey and that is it. And you can get to where I am because I teach everything. I teach you how to be your own therapist, your own healer. Because that's what's needed. Sovereignty is what's needed. You take the responsibility and you back yourself and you trust yourself and you have the courage to take the power that you have already.
I love that. I love that you're letting people know that you're not in any way, shape, or form better than another person.
No.
And you alluded to the fact that you went through this experience, you learned from it. And what you offer is to help them on their journey, make it a little bit easier than maybe it was for you because of that experience, because of those tools and resources that you have available. That is the whole purpose of what a lot of us do, right? We take our journey, our experiences, these tools and resources, and we pass that on in the hopes that your journey is less complicated and more fruitful a lot quicker than it was for us.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And you know what? You don't know what you don't know. And going into this is you're flying blind. When you're doing it on your own, you're flying completely blind. You waste a lot of money, you waste a lot of time, you create a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. You don't understand what's going on in your body. You get scared, you're fearful, you're asking the wrong people, the wrong questions, and you're setting yourself up for failure. And that's why I do it, because I experienced all of it.
A lot more trial and error too.
Oh, so much, years and years and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like these clinical trials are not cheap, like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and people going through this and learning and understanding the intricacies of how complex we are and how our experiences completely change our perception and how many different perceptions people have of pain, and understanding all of that and understanding that for yourself and knowing that for yourself, you can only grow from that. And you don't have to spend years. If someone just tells you the information, tells you what's going on for you, and you know that that's true within your bones, you will fly very quickly and heal yourself very quickly. There's no need for decades of suffering.
Exactly. Use your resources, guys. There's folks out there who are professionals who have resources, tools, and even services that are free, right? Just to give you more knowledge. So definitely take advantage of your resources. Something else you mentioned, Dawn, that I was like, yes, woo-woo. You hear this word, this term a lot when it comes to coaching, when it comes to therapy, when it comes to holistic modalities. And I really hope that those of you that are listening and watching have an open mind, or just take a moment to really think of periods in your life where you've looked at something or judged something and thought of it as woo-woo or not beneficial, or something that, as another term, fantastical or fantasy based, where it's not as tangible or realistic, or it can look weird. I urge you to have an open mind, because like Dawn said, there's so many things out there that may look weird or that may sound a certain way than what you're used to. But once you apply them, they actually work. Like, they're around for a reason.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Do not let the small niggling part of you that is having judgment on the tool and technique, don't let that be the one that makes the decisions in your life. You make the decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's weird and it works, who cares? If it's placebo and it's not the tool, who cares? If you're heading in the right direction and you're healing yourself, that is all that matters. Everything else is just a waste of time and energy to focus on. You just focus on, I am getting better and I am healing, and you will.
Yes. So, Dawn, how can folks work with you? Do you work with one audience, meaning just women, or do you work with men and women? Can you tell us more about folks you work with and how they can work with you?
Yeah, of course. So how it works is there's online programs, so all different budgets. We cover all different budgets. Online programs, self-paced, online programs where we hold your hand one-on-one with me. And I work predominantly with women. 70% of chronic pain sufferers are women. I do have men. I've had lots of men come through my pain clinic and my private practice. But predominantly it is women. And mostly the women that come through to me it's not the pain. The reason why people come to me. For some reason, we have accepted as a society that it's okay to be in pain, just pop a painkiller. Mm-hmm. It's anxiety. It's the anxiety that has people come to see me. So it just gets too much. So they have the chronic pain and then suddenly PTSD or anxiety comes into their life, and now they've got panic attacks, and now they're having these huge relapses where they psychologically can't manage and cope anymore with the pain. That's the state of where people come to me. So don't think I'm too far gone. Don't ever think that. Because I have seen people that have been experiencing for 25, 30 years come and see me. They've been coping with their back pain for all of that time, and then something just...
Wow.
And suddenly they just go, I can't cope anymore. I've got these anxiety attacks. I've had enough. It's just compounding. The pain is a message saying to you there's something wrong. But what we have been taught to do is numb that by popping painkillers. But it comes to a point where your body says, I can't do it anymore. And you start to experience anxiety. You start to experience panic attacks. So the people that I work with are generally not in a good place. They're at this crisis point. They've been to see everyone. They have tried everything and nothing has worked. And now they're going, I've got to take responsibility. I've got to know what's going on, because you know what? I'm not living a life like this anymore. This is not right. It's not right. I'm waking up every morning dreading what the day is bringing. Those are the sorts of people that we work with that alleviate pain where just nothing else has worked.
Wow, it's amazing how it takes, your body is giving you these messages, right? The messages may be weak in terms of the voice, but then as time progresses, that gets stronger, or it finds alternate ways to provide that message to you. And like you said, medication, a lot of times it's just masking or treating a symptom. It's not actually healing or curing anything. So your body over time is going to say, hey, like, this isn't working. We need to figure out a way to actually heal and fix what is going on. So folks are coming to you, it's like their last straw. They've tried everything. They had this moment where the anxiety, as part of it is factored in, and they turn to you for that help and assistance. So you have programs where it's different budgets, and where they can also work with you individually, one-on-one, Do you have group sessions as well?
Yeah, so there's group sessions as well. So I've got for all different budgets. So there's group sessions, there's sessions one-on-one with my coaches, there's one-on-one with me. So we're covering. I don't want anyone to not heal themselves and have this education and understanding because of money.
Mm-hmm.
You and your health is more important than money. But unfortunately, we've been led to believe that money is the most important thing. So I have a Facebook community where I offer tools and techniques for free. So there are no excuses.
Mm-hmm.
And you are able to help you. That information in those communities help you enough to start to take the journey on your own. But if you want help, we're here.
That's great. I love that you offer free resources.
So many free resources. Every single week I am offering a tool, a technique. Something is always in the Facebook group. You can reach out and you can ask your questions and I will answer them personally and I will come back to you, because I don't believe that we should allow money to get in the way of healing. Mm-hmm. Everyone is entitled to be healed. Everyone should have been taught this information and this knowledge as a child. We have been deprived of this information, and I am here to share this information and this knowledge. No matter who you are, what your situation or your circumstance, I don't care. I just want for you to feel better and know that you can heal. That's why I'm here. That's why I went through everything. And this is why I'm sat here today sharing my time, is because I'm so passionate about this. So many people suffering unnecessarily. Mm-hmm. There really is. And it breaks my heart.
No, we definitely appreciate having you on, having you share your wisdom and talk about your program and what you're offering. Guys, as she mentioned, if you have any sort of issue with pain that you've been holding on to for some time, any curiosity as to what she does on EFT tapping, anything that we've talked about today, definitely take advantage. Connect with her via her various platforms. She mentioned Facebook. Facebook is one of them. You have Instagram. You have her website. Connect with her. Reach out. If you are just curious about the methodologies and what she offers in terms of services, set up a discovery call, because you never know how it can help you, how it can impact you. And if not for you, maybe someone that you know that is suffering from pain.
That's exactly right. We need to break this paradigm, Evelyn. We really do. We are so powerful beyond belief. And if you have this open communication and you understand that you are the CEO, and that your mind and body are powerful instruments and tools for you to have an incredible and amazing life, you don't want to be in pain or suffering. You want to get out of that. But we don't even have the education that you can heal yourself. Your body can heal. And I appreciate you having me on your show, and thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You are so welcome. So just before we break, the ways that folks can get in contact with you. So we mentioned Facebook. Facebook is one of the areas. We have your website. LinkedIn is another one. And what about Instagram? Are you on Instagram by any chance?
Yes. Yeah, I'm not very good with Instagram, so I am on there, but the big platform is Facebook community, which is Heal Yourself. So if you search for Heal Yourself, get yourself in there. It's free. Okay. It's all free content. And there's a gift as well, which will drop the link. And it's a meditation that's going to help you just get yourself in a place where you feel that you're in control over your mind and your body. And it's 3 minutes a day. Yeah.
That is so great. So if folks join the Facebook group and they get a free meditation, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So guys, we're going to put all the links for how to get in touch with Dawn. I highly recommend that if anything resonated with you, if anything piqued your curiosity, or if you're dealing with pain or someone you know is dealing with chronic pain, please reach out. Please, access the free resources that Dawn is offering and set up a call. Look at what programs she has available and how it could work for you or for this other person that might need it. Dawn, any last thoughts you want to share?
One last thing that I want to share that is I've found when you understand this and you are able to take this to a deep level, it'll shift inside of you. You are bigger than the pain. You are bigger than the pain. Once you understand that and really embody that and know that that's the truth, pain no longer has its grip or hold of you anymore, and you can heal.
Powerful words. Very powerful words. People don't realize just how much control you have over not just the external state of your life, but what's going on, internally, whether it's your mental, whether it's your heart, whether it's your health. All this stuff is impacted by your own belief, your own willpower, your own perception. So is the case with pain.
It really is.
Thank you so much, Dawn. Thank you so much for, again, coming on this platform, for telling us about what you do, the services that you offer, and educating us as well. For those of you that, again, are listening, go watch the video because Dawn will show you some of the EFT tapping that she was referring to. All right. Well, guys, like I always say, preparation, accountability, execution, and resolve are keys to your success. Until next time.
Bye.